bone, 10 bones, and all that, different from a beef cow. This cow right here, now we're talking about Daisy. You know, Daisy is you know, she will eat a grain a day, and that's just Daisy. You know, some of the other breeds that's larger will, eat more than that, but she eats 20 pounds of grain a day. She eats 20 pounds of roughage. Now, the grain that she eats is same type of grain we eat, high in protein. She eats oats, we eat oats. She eats corn, we eat corn. Different, just in a different form. We eat bread, we eat bread. We eat wheat, which, they make bread out of. She eats wheat. Her ration that she's eating now consists of a lot of things. If I gave you a handful of it, and, you can see corn in it, Milo in it. It's probably got some vitamins, minerals, maybe even have a little cottonseed meal or something like that in there. So you can see that her ration is really a high protein ration. It has to be so that her body can produce that milk. These dairy cows eat that roughage too, and that roughage is, she'd eat this grass out here. If I turned her out, that's roughage. Well, in the wintertime we can't get any green grass, so that roughage there then is considered, those big round bales of hay that you see baled up, big square bales, little square bales. That's all that is dried hay or dried grass, as we call it, And also some dairy farmers feed silage. Silage is fermented hay. But Daisy will eat 20 pounds of that every day. Okay? Now, she eats all of that, and she produces 40 pounds, a little over 40 pounds of milk a day. Everything's going right, she'll do that 40 pounds, okay? That's Daisy. All right? Now, there's 8.6 pounds in a gallon of milk. 8.6 pounds in 1 gallon of milk. So roughly Daisy gives 5 gallons of milk a day. That's a lot of milk, isn't it? 5 gallons is quite a bit of milk. All right, could anybody in here, could anybody tell me what kind of, we know that there's 6 breeds of dairy cows in the United States. And what breed is Daisy? Somebody raise your hand. Don't holler it out, just raise your hand. Yes, sir. She's a Jersey. Okay, you get you a cup to drink your milk in, right?
Yeah.
You betcha. There you go. She's a Jersey. Jersey's one of 6 breeds of dairy cows in the United States. We've got them up here on the screen. One of the 6. The Jersey is the smallest of the dairy cows. It's the second most popular breed. The Jersey is. The Jersey, they always call them the little Jersey because, like I said, it's the smallest. Of course, it eats less than any of the rest of the cows, dairy cows. Gives the least amount of milk. But we said she gives 5 gallons. That sounds like a lot of milk, doesn't it? If we had to drink it all, it would be. But she gives less than all the rest of the breed. But the Jersey cow, as the milk from a Jersey cow, is known for its really high protein and high solids. So it's protein and solids in her milk.
It'll roll to it.
They make things, or they like to make things. I'm not saying they do, but they like to make these dairy products out of milk. They like Jersey milk. They like to make cheese.
That one you can drag to that one.
Breeds milk, but for every pound, if you use Jersey cow's milk, when you're making cheese, you'll get more cheese per pound of milk than you will the rest of them because of its high solids and high protein. So cheese is one of the things they like to make out of Jersey milk. Another one is butter, of course. Another one is my favorite, ice cream. I think all of you probably like ice cream, don't you? Yeah, pretty good, isn't it? Anyhow, it's one of those dairy products. Ice cream is one of those dairy products made out of milk. every day, you know, there's something. You go down the freeways and there's big billboards, you know, it's got a Holstein cow at the top. Could somebody raise their hand and tell me what they're advertising? They're not advertising. They're not. What? You know, that's anyhow, let me get on with this. This Holstein that we see that you can find every one of them here in the state of Tennessee. If you'll go around, I mean, you know, to a dairy farm. I'm not saying a dairy farm would have every one of the 6 breeds, but there are Ashires, there are all of them here, and we know that Jersey's Holstein. Now we're going to change a little bit subject here a little bit, maybe, and what I want to talk about. We know this cow gives what? Milk, and just because she's brown, she's not going to give chocolate milk. She's going to give white milk. We know that too. I mean, every cow gives white milk. But the 3 most popular type, you know, flavors or whatever you want to call it, milk in the United States is white, chocolate, and strawberry. Now those 3. And all 3 of those have the same nutrients, vitamins, 9 of them that we got listed over here. They're even on the side of this trailer here. 9 vitamins, nutrients, and we know the most popular one is, you know, or not popular one we always think about is calcium, because it provides you with strong bones and healthy teeth. Now, along that same line, you know, milk. We've got those 3 milks. And I don't know whether y'all knew it or not, but it's been out for quite a while, several years. Chocolate milk is the best recovery drink there is on the market today. Now, I don't know whether if y'all all understand when I say recovery drink. I'm talking about if someone is, for example, athletes at universities. I know most of the universities in the United States provide chocolate milk for athletes to drink when they get through with a hard workout or through with a hard game. It makes their body recover faster. You know how you are when you work out or have a hard game of any type, that your body's kind of tired, run down. Well, chocolate milk, well, your body will recover a lot faster. It's the best drink there is. I've talked to high schools. There's a lot of high schools around that use it now because it really, you can't do it during the game. You can't drink it during the workout. But afterwards, it is fine, okay? So keep that in mind. Best recovery drink there are. Now, is this cow up here a mammal?
Yes.
Yep, sure is. Are we mammals?
Yes.
Yep. You know, the mammal starts producing milk when they have their first baby. We get our milk from this mammal here, you know, after we through being a baby, I guess you'd say. So and Daisy had her first calf when she was 2 years old. She's actually going on 3 now, fixing to be 3. So she's just 2 years, you know, a little over 2 years old. That's when those cows enter the milking herd at 2 years. Now Daisy, like all cows, and when we say 2 years, we're talking about human age. You know, if we're talking about cow age, you got to remember that every time we age 1 year, cow age is 12. So actually, Daisy was 24 years old in cow age, okay? That's cow age. 24 years old. So, you know, and one thing about, you know, I said we're a mammal, you know, produce milk. And I just want to, and I'm, you know, nothing against anything or anybody, but, you know, there's a lot of things there's a lot of things that have milk at the end of it, you know. Why do they have that? Because of the goodness of wholesome milk. You know, they wouldn't have milk at the end of something that wasn't, you know, considered, you know, an excellent product. What I'm trying to say is milk comes from the mammal, the female mammal. It doesn't come from a tree. It doesn't come from a plant. Milk comes from the mammal, we say, the female, and we get ours, of course, just like I've already said, from the cow. Okay, Now, those 3 milks, every time you get those 9 vitamins, nutrients. Also, here's something else. You know, we have milk. We talked about those dairy products that they make out of milk. We have cheese. We have butter. We have yogurt. We have ice cream. We have the sour cream, cottage cheese. We can name some more. I do know, you know, we talk about cheese. There's 14 jillion different flavors of cheese in the United States, and you can probably find one you like, you know. And I do know also that anytime you have those, you get these 9 vitamins and nutrients. Anytime you have one of those dairy products, you also, just like a glass of milk. Now, you people, boys and girls, y'all need 3 to 4 servings of dairy each day. That's either milk or one of those dairy products. Now, do you have to drink milk? No. You can eat 3 or 4 of those dairy products. Some of you probably do and don't realize it. You know, we know that y'all are still, your body's still growing. You're building your bones for the future. Adults like myself and your teacher, we also need 3 or 4 servings a day. Why? Because we want to preserve the bone structure that we got now. You know, I'm not going to get any taller. I've been this tall a long, long time, and it ain't going to happen. You know, I'm not getting any taller, but every one of y'all probably, you know, in the next few years will get taller. You know, so keep that in mind. You're building those bodies and structures for the future. So make sure you get that 3 or 4 servings. How you do that? You could have a glass of milk this morning. You could add a milk in cereal, that counts. You could add some yogurt, that counts. You could even add butter on toast, that counts. Now, for lunch, you may have had some milk. I don't know. You may have had a slice of cheese on a sandwich. You may have had a cheeseburger. Nobody knows. You may have had macaroni and cheese. That counts because it's got cheese in it. I bet you there's some people in there that had pizza for lunch. Anybody have pizza? A few of you. That counts. Got cheese on it. You know, if you had some type of Mexican food, enchiladas, nachos, tacos, quesadillas, all of it's got cheese on it. All of it counts. So it's not hard to get that 3 or 4 servings of dairy each day. As you go through the day, you don't have to count them, but if you look back what you had, I bet most of you had 3 and 4. So that's what's important, so make sure you get it. Okay, we're going to change directions here a little bit, and I wish you could see our pictures of our baby calves up here. These baby calves, we have them because they are the future of the dairy farm. Like I said a while ago, when they grow up, 2 years of age, they're going to have their baby, and they will be entering that milking herd on a dairy farm. That's the future of that dairy farm. We see this baby calf, we see them in pens. They keep them in pens because it's like I said earlier, these cows give way too much milk for those babies. There's no way you can let those babies run with those cows. So they keep them in pens. They keep them in there for the health of that baby calf. They keep them in there, you know, for the safety of that baby calf. Anybody in here, when you were little, were put in a playpen? Anybody admit to being put in a playpen? Anyway, you know, your parents put you in the playpen for your safety. You know, that's all that matters. That's all they did it for. And that's the same way with these baby calves. Now, these baby calves right here, you know, they need a quart of milk in the morning, a quart of milk in the afternoon. Okay, everybody got that? They need 1 quart in the morning, 1 quart in the afternoon. You know, I told you a while ago how much milk Daisy gave. Now, could somebody by raise your hand tell me how much milk is left for us? Yes, sir.
40?
Nope, not 40. How much milk is left for us? Come on, y'all know. Yes, sir. 4.5 gallons. You nailed it right on the money. You're in the ball game. That's the way to stay, right in the ball game. I'm gonna hit somebody's head, so y'all heads up, okay? Now, 4.5 gallons, okay? Half gallon here, 4.5 left from 5. 4.5 left. So keep that in mind. All right, that's all there is 4.5 gallons of what? So that's a lot of milk, isn't it? Left over. So that's why these are dairy cows. Yeah. Now, I talked earlier a little bit about I haven't talked about conservation, but the dairy farmers are conservation. We talked about the manure and what they do with it. I want you to know also that these, you know, these dairy farms, you know, make sure that everything that runs on that's on that dairy farm stays on that dairy farm. They've got lagoons somewhere on those dairy farms. They're big pond-looking things. You would probably call them a pond, but if you know, they're called lagoons on a dairy farm. That everything on that dairy farm is contained. It runs into that pond, and you know, if they didn't do something like that, you know, sooner or later it'll run into a stream, and a stream runs into a river, and before long we've got rivers polluted and all that kind of stuff. So dairy farmers make sure that doesn't happen on their farms. They take care of that. They're even inspected by the states and the government to make sure it's not happening. So they take care of that. They have to take care of it because they want to be good neighbors to everyone. Now, these dairy farmers, you know, we talked about all this stuff that Daisy ate, the cows eat, you know, in their feed. And most dairy farms, those larger ones, have what they call an animal nutritionist. You know, you've heard of the people that has a nutritionist tells them what to eat. Well, these cows have a nutritionist, and that nutritionist figures out the rations for those cows, how much grain, how much minerals and vitamins, how much roughage, and they mix it all together according to what that nutritionist said, and they put out and feed those cows. Now, these cows, you know, we're showing pictures, and I know a lot of you can't see it. If you people over yonder, if y'all wanted to mosey around some way, you can see a lot. I mean, we're a lot closer right over here. It's up to y'all. If y'all want to mosey around behind the trailer and get over here closer, there's a lot than way back over there. It's up to y'all. But anyway, these cows, you know, they don't have enough property to graze all those cows. So what they do, they put them in a barn and take the feed things to them. They keep them in there, you know, all year round. Now, those barns are called freestall barns. To me, they're called freestall barns because the cows are, you know, they can lay down anytime they want to. They're free to lay down. They're free to eat feed anytime they want to. Free to get a clean drink of water. But they have to go to that parter barn for twice a day to be milked. Twice a day they've got to go to that parter barn. Some dairies milk 3 times. Most just milk twice, okay? So they have to go be milked twice a day. They make sure these cows are kept comfortable on these dairy farms, especially in these barns like this. You know, they're just like humans. You know, the more comfortable these cows are, the better they can work. If they're going to work, you know, they'll eat, they'll drink, they'll produce more milk. So they're going to make sure they're taken well care of and they're comfortable as possible. Those barns have big fans that keep them, you know, the air circulated. They have water mist that, you know, in a real hot summertime, they have that water mist on them to cool them down. Works just like if you've ever been to a theme park or you're waiting on a ride or something, they shoot that little mist of water over you, kind of cools you off, it doesn't get you wet. That's the same thing to do on these dairy farms with these cows. Okay? Now, we talked about a little bit a while ago about the conservation. We know that it takes a lot of water to wash up these milking equipment, you know, on those dairy farms. This equipment, once it's washed, those dairy farmers keep that water. They just don't flush it out of there. They keep it, they recycle it. How do they recycle it? They wash, and I wish y'all could see the picture, but they wash, you know, they have this recycled water they've already used once, and they got this feed lane where these cows have been standing, and they just flush that water down it, okay, to wash those feed lanes with that recycled water. Then that water runs into that lagoon we were talking about a while ago, and that lagoon, then that settles out, then it's put back on the fields, you know, in pastures and things, and irrigation farm. All right, now, we're going to milk Miss Daisy in a second, but I want to explain to you, you know, a little bit how the milk gets, you know, from the cow, how the milk gets from the cow, you know, through the milking machine, you know, so forth and so on. This right here is where the milk will flow in a minute. This is the milking hose. This milk that we're going to milk today goes through this weigh jar up here. It's called a weigh jar. Back, it's kind of an antique now. The dairy farms don't use it. It's got these numbers on the side that tell how many pounds a cow milks. They're kind of antiques. They don't have to use them. There's better technology nowadays, you know, fooling around with something like that. but it's great for our demonstration today. Now on a dairy farm, this is the way it works. Milk goes through the round milking hose. From there, there's a big stainless steel pipeline below the cow. It goes in from that stainless steel pipeline into the next room, into a big stainless steel cooling tank. All right? Now, that milk is cooled immediately to about 35 degrees. Milk comes off a cow body temperature. Her body temperature is a little bit warmer than ours, okay? Human, so you know it's warm. But it has to be cooled quickly. That milk has to be cooled quickly. When that tank gets full of milk, a big tanker truck comes along to pick it up. That tanker truck will not pick that milk up if it's over 36 degrees. Won't do it. It's got to be 36 or less before they'll pick it up. All right? Now, it goes to the processing plant. And by the way, this truck is not refrigerated, but it does have thick insulated walls, okay? So it'll stay cool for quite a while, but not for, you know, way down the road. Anyway, it goes to a fluid milk processing plant, and when I say fluid, I'm talking about the milk we drink. I'm not talking about any of the product. And that's what we're talking about here. It goes to a fluid milk processing plant, and first thing they do when they get there with that milk, they check the temperature. That lab technician goes out, checks the temperature. If that temperature is over 40 degrees, they won't accept it. Over 40 degrees, it will not be accepted. Okay? Then if it's all right on temperature, they check the quality of that milk. If the quality of that milk's okay, then they unload it. Okay? Now, we're not going to talk about 1%, 2%, or whole milk is 3.25% milk. That's what whole milk is, which probably all of you ought to be drinking, but that's another story. Anyhow, 3.25%, 2%, 1%. That's what, we're not going to talk about. All they do is take the cream out and put that much back in. Okay? Now, we're going to talk about what do they do to that milk. All right, there's two things they do to that milk. And they pasteurize it and they homogenize it. Okay? Some people say pasteurization, some people also say homogenization. They're one and the same, pasteurization. Neither one of those processes will hurt the flavor of that milk. It's okay. It doesn't do a thing to that milk. It doesn't affect the quality, taste, whatsoever. Okay? Now, pasteurization. Let me tell you about pasteurization. And you'll see those two words. Pasteurization, homogenization. Homogenize on the side of your cartons or your gallon jugs if you just look. Pasteurization or pasteurizing is heating that milk to 165 degrees for 15 seconds only. It's lowered back down immediately to 35 degrees. All right? So, that is pasteurization. They pasteurize milk to kill any germs or bacteria that might be in that milk. That's all there is. They're killing those germs and bacteria. Okay? Some people will ask, well, why does some milk have a longer shelf life? Most of the time it has a longer shelf life because when they pasteurize it, they take it way over 200 degrees and they do it for a longer time than 15 seconds. Not only do they make it have a longer shelf life, but they also kill the probiotics in that milk. And we know what probiotics do. All of you high school, you've heard of probiotics. It helps your stomach, And that's what happens when they do that, when they heat that milk way up. Okay? So, keep that in mind, pasteurization. Next thing is homogenation, and it's not quite as easy to understand. What homogenation is on milk is we know that cream particles in that milk are larger than the rest of the particles in the milk. So, when I milk this cow, it's called raw milk because they hadn't been pasteurized, homogenized. This cow, we know that milk, there's no doubt about it. After a little bit sitting out here, we're going to see a cream line at the top because cream rises to the top, right? Because those cream particles are larger, okay? But you don't have that problem with your milk at home, do you? You don't have to shake it before you drink it because those cream particles they've been taken care of by homogenation. Now, how did that happen? By centrifugal force, they force it through smaller streams and break those cream particles up so they're the same size as the rest of the particles of the milk. So when you drink a glass of milk out of a gallon jug, you know, the first glass has the same consistency as the last glass. Now, it hadn't always been that way in the United States. When I was in the first grade, you know, but I can bet you some of your grandparents, you know, and they didn't drink raw milk. They were drinking milk they bought, had to shake it up way back there. Okay, so taking care of those two terms. The two things I want you to know about that gallon jug of milk. Number one, it takes 2 or 3 days to get from the dairy farm to your refrigerator. Okay? Number two, it's never touched by human hands. I'm not going to stick my finger in it. It ain't going to happen. As a matter of fact, this milk never gets to the open air, okay? I mean, we don't milk cows in buckets anymore by hand. You can't sell the milk if you do. Okay, now, we're going to milk Miss Daisy. Where did she go? Come on, Daisy. All right, let's get Daisy up here. I guess I forgot to put the gate down back here. I'll get her up here. I'll tease her. All right, Daisy, come on. Come on. Come on. I don't want to have to pull you up here. I know. Sun shining up here and all that. But I can't hit them. Okay. We're going to milk her if she'll cooperate. There really wasn't enough water in there, but she drank what little dab we gave her. Okay, now, we're going to milk her, but before we milk her, I want to talk a little bit about her, okay? She eats that feed, you know, that she, you know, and then she swallows it. How many stomachs does a cow have? Somebody write, yes, ma'am. 4. You got that in a hurry, didn't you? You didn't give anybody else a chance. 4 stomachs. Cow's got 4 stomachs. You know, if we had 4, we could put away some groceries, couldn't we? Anyway, better off we don't. Anyway, they eat that feed, roughage, or whatever she eats, okay? Then goes into that first stomach. After a little bit, they regurgitate it back up, or they burp it back up, and she chews on it. That's called chewing her cud. I don't know whether anybody, parents or anybody said you look, when you're chewing your gum, you look like a cow chewing your cud. I mean, y'all have heard that before. That's where it comes from, cows. That's where the cream rises to the top, you know, comes from. But anyway, after a little bit, she swallows it. It goes through those 4 stomachs. By the time it gets through, you know, all of them, it's, you know, it's digested into her bloodstream and her body, okay? And then, you know, there's scientific names, and I'm not going to get into that, for all those stomachs. But that's, okay. Now, right here is the bloodstream. Y'all can see it up here on the front row. You probably see it on way back there. But it's about as big around as a water hose. You know, on the other side is the same thing, just like it. Numerous blood streams underneath, or blood veins underneath the body here. Okay? Now, and you can see some through here too. All right, they all go back here. This is called the udder. Can y'all say udder? Y'all are with me. Anyway, this udder is divided into 4 quarters, 4 parts, 4 quarters. At the bottom of each udder, This is where we milk the cow from, right here. This is called the teat, T-E-A-T, teat. Okay, teat. You have to milk each one of them out. You can't milk one out, it's going to drain the whole udder. It won't work, okay? So you got to milk all four of them. This is where we harvest the milk and milk the cow from. Now, let me give you a fact about this cow, which is the son. This cow, has to pump 500 gallons.
As of right now, it's going off my camera. It says the other one's not available. You want me to just like put this one down? Can we just put this one down? You're live on YouTube. There's one person watching. It's us.
They take this dip. This is called a pre-dip. This is an iodine dip I'm using here. Now, they don't always have iodine dip. There's other type of dip, but we have iodine just like they have in the hospital for, disinfect. This probably's got a little lanolin in it, protect her skin. Okay? All we're going to do is kill the germs and bacteria that she may have gotten on her coming over here this morning. Or this evening. Well, I guess it was this morning. Okay? So, I apologize. I thought I killed that. Anyway, I put that on there. Alright? Now, we don't want that iodine in our milk, so I'm going to take a clean paper towel and I'm going to wipe that off real good. Okay? So, we'll do that. And, because we don't want that iodine in that milk. Okay? Iodine, we got it all. All right, the next thing that dairy farmer's going to do is he's going to hand milk or hand strip that cow. And all that does, all that they're going to do is we're going to look at the milk and make sure it's okay. All right, we're going to make sure that milk is okay. If that milk's not okay, there could be something wrong with that cow's health. But they won't sell milk if it doesn't look okay. So we're going to, you people on the front row up there, be real careful. This gets kind of wild sometimes. It's a little wild. Y'all ready? Now, if it gets on you, it won't hurt you. The only thing's going to happen, cat's going to follow you around the rest of the day. All right, let me go around over here and y'all tell me if it looks good. How's good? Does it look pretty good? All right, I'm going to quit. Got to look at it. All right, second thing that does is tell Daisy we're going to milk her. All right? Daisy that we're going to milk her. All right, what that does, the secretion goes to her brain. She has a milking letdown. You can even feel it back here. So, I'll start up the vacuum pump. I didn't run over there. You said 1 o'clock. Okay, now. This is the milking machine. I turned the vacuum pump on, small vacuum, and this is the way this works. All right, we have the milking hose. You remember this top hose is called the pulsation hose. What the pulsation does is breaks the vacuum. So this is the way it works. Inside these metal liners, we have a soft rubber liner. Okay, or these shells, we have soft rubber liner. So inside here, we have the vacuum, but we have the pulsation breaking the vacuum, and it works like this. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Okay? So it's like a cow milk, like a calf nursing. This won't hurt her. Okay? Y'all will see the milk hit the milk jug pretty quick up there, so be ready. There it is. That's amazing. Y'all can't, come on around where you can see it. Y'all are missing out on an opportunity there.
Come on, Bruce. It's time to go. Go tell him to turn it off. Oh yeah, you like that?
Okay, while we're milking a little bit out of her, I want y'all to know that this cow, you know, like we said a while ago, has to be milked twice a day. So think about that occupation of a dairy farmer. They have to milk cows twice a day. They don't get the weekends off. They have to milk these cows 365 days out of the year, okay? So think about that. 365 days out of the year. It doesn't make a difference whether it's 5 degrees or 105 degrees. Cows have to be milked. So kind of think about that when you enjoy your milk and all those fine dairy products that we have. All right, I'm going to, in just a few minutes, I'm going to take this off. If we were on a dairy farm, it'd take 5 to 7 minutes to milk a cow out, morning and evening. That's all it would take. In a minute, she's going to be milked out, hopefully. But not right now. We've got another presentation, right? So we're going to save some milk for the last presentation. All right, so let me see how much milk we got left. Because we don't want to, we got to save some, right? Y'all think we ought to save some? We don't want to milk it all. Okay, now, while I'm sitting here before I finish up, and you teachers came in late, that I don't know whether you got your bag, one teacher guide, and enough of those backpack tags over here behind the trailers. It's up to y'all to count them out. Okay, I'm going to take it off now. Okay, I took that milker off. Now, the last thing that dairy farmer will do before he turns that cow out is this. He'll take that dip again, it's called post dip, of course, and he'll re-dip that cow. Now, the first time, you remember, I said it was supposed to kill any germs or bacteria. That was for the consumer, us. This time, it's for Daisy's health or any cow's health. These teat canals takes about 8 to 10 minutes to close up, and we do not want her to go out and lay down real quick somewhere where she's not supposed to lay down and get some bacteria or something like that, germs, and cause her to be sick. So that's why we re-dip them before they leave the milking parlor. All right, now
it's time to eat, boys.
Let's give her a hand for showing us how to milk. All right, one thing I like to tell you people. Yeah, let me tell them first. If you get a backpack tags, one for each student, and you can get one teacher guide book in a bag for yourself. Okay? Yeah, there you go. It's okay. Appreciate it coming by. But anyhow, remember, you're only going to get one body in your lifetime, right? You can't trade it in like we do cars. So make sure you take care of that body. Make sure, in other words, what you put in it is good and wholesome for you. Make sure what you eat or drink is good and wholesome for you. And along the same line, there's nothing that can be better for you, more wholesome for you, than milk or any of those dairy products. I appreciate y'all coming and sitting out here in the sun. I wish we had a shade, but we don't have one, do we? But we're okay, right?
Yeah.
All right. All right, thank y'all for coming by, and I appreciate being here, Charles, at Davy Crockett High School. Be careful of the speaker, please.